Hi, we're at the Metals Investor Forum, and I'm sitting here with John Kaiser. We've both already had a set at the in the convention hall with introducing some companies that we like. One of the companies that was on your panel is Camino Minerals, and those who watch the industry are aware of that story. Really great hole 3 weeks ago now, I think it was. Put their share price up fivefold. That was really interesting to me for a couple reasons, geologically for sure, but also the market reaction. I would say 18 months ago, that same hole would have elicited zero response in the market because nobody cared. But the reaction shows that, there's a pretty engaged investment audience out there right now.
Yeah, so, a couple of months ago when we started putting together, what companies am I going to invite to this conference, I'm of the view that we are now in the second year of a discovery exploration boom cycle, similar to what we had in 1992 to 97. That's got 4 or 5 years before it probably gets toppy. Mm-hmm. And last year was the awakening. And so I had several companies teed up, Rainy Mountain Royalty, Alto Ventures, Mineral Mountain Resources, all of them with projects that have some sort of mineralization on the property already, but nothing that you could call an optionality play where you if gold's at 3,000, whatever it is they have, it's not big enough or whatever to go into production, and these are all bottom fish picks of mine, and Camino Minerals happened to be a bottom fish pick also, but I knew they were off in Peru drilling and so on, and I didn't want to bother Ken to come to this because he's going to be too busy. And then all of a sudden they pulled this discovery hole. And here was the demonstration of the method working. Because when you have an early stage projects, the valuations are low, 5 million, 10 million, maybe 20 million if you're lucky, and you're shooting for prizes, even a $200 million prize, some sort of, 500,000, a million ounce gold deposit that some medium tier miner acquires and all that. You're still talking 5, 10 baggers. And most importantly, that S curve. Now, I've got the rational speculation model with the uncertainty ladder that says, well, if you think you got $1 billion prize there, right, and it's just a target you're testing, well, that gets to be worth about 1 to 2.5%, which is still a $10 million to $12.5 million valuation. But when suddenly you pull a discovery hole, nobody knows what the limit is. And this is what happened with Camino. Yeah. 106 meters of 1.3% copper. And I knew that it was important because I'd done some homework on the geological context. And I knew Ken was trying to prove a hypothesis. So when this stock started trading at 35 cents, when they dropped it in the market in the morning, you could have gotten in there all the way to 70 cents and bought stock. And this is what's fun about this. And it ran to $1.28 and then subsequently to $2.23, where it was like in la-la land, and it's pulled back. Sure. But even at the current level, somewhere between $1 and $1.20, that's a $50 million market cap. Yeah, we've got our 5-bagger out of it already, but there's another 5 to 10 bagger potential. This is what I love about discovery exploration.
Absolutely, and there's so many different points depending on your risk profile and your degree of knowledge. There's all these different points at which you can enter. Even with Camino, it's come back down now. You could get in now, and assuming it is what we're starting to think it might be, absolutely, there's still multi-bagger potential there. And then there's the other factors that come into play. They've got a financing that's going to come free trading in a couple weeks that might even come back off a little more. So there's all these levels at which you can enter. And what's great about you saying you were sort of looking at which companies to invite, and none of them were obvious, new discoveries. They were all the speculation. But you and I are similar in that sense. Neither of us buy stocks because they have a deposit that might be worth more if metal prices increase. What we like are things that make sense today, or that are backed by good teams and have good potential to create a discovery. And you have to try. I mean, Camino might not have hit, and then I think we said before, your 30-cent investment might go down to 20 cents, or who knows. But you try a couple of them, and one of them, like Camino, goes wild.
And there are some metals where you can also make bets on a higher metal price, but gold is not one of them. Now, zinc is one that intrigues me right now because we have depleting Western mines. We have this assumption that China, which is the largest producer, is going to keep producing forever. And anytime the price goes up, oops, let's put another one of these small mines into production.
Sure.
But you can do some homework and start to understand this environmental awakening in China and say, these miserable polluting little mines are going to be shut down. China has plateaued. And if it starts to decline while the West continues to drag its heels and the global economy continues to grow, you're going to see $2 zinc. Now that makes sense. So now I look for zinc projects and stuff like that. But gold, you have whatever, these $7 trillion worth of gold sitting there in vaults doing nothing as an insurance policy. So gold can do anything. It could go to $5,000 overnight. How long it would stay there, for what reason, who knows.
Right.
But trying to make a bet on a different gold price, to me, is like depressing. Other metals, yes. That's why whatever gold is at, and I think the current gold price, it's not going lower. $1,200 gold is $400 gold, 1980, inflation adjusted to the present. So the worst that can happen is gold stays where it is and you get a good discovery, great. If we do get a rising gold price, and I think it is possible, well, that's a bonus. That might extend my 3 to 5 year bull market into a 5 to 10 year monster market.
Which would be great. Yeah, so then you've got gold with its possibilities, its potential. Then you've got more fundamental arguments. I totally agree with you on the zinc front. I think copper has fundamental strength. It's a little bit more of a drawn out time frame, but it's got some fundamental strength. And those are feeding into this market where once the market is re-engaged, which is what the awakening period last year did, it just re-engaged the market. And now that it's there, the discoveries are noticed. The discoveries cause the reaction, right?
Yeah, just look at one of my favorites, they're Atomera. I'd given up on them and everything, and then they persisted. They took the hideously dilutionary financing last year, had this monstrous warrant overhang, the kind that just makes me want to run away. But they did geological work. They upgraded the project, came up with new targets, and there's an audience out there for it. The retail's not yet here. I mean, I still saw empty seats out there in the audience, but I say next January, you're going to have to get a bigger venue because the people are going to be bashing on the door, threatening violence if they're not allowed in.
I hope you're right. I think. Yeah.
Just don't get too big a cavern so that it looks small again.
So then it looks small. Yeah, we'll keep it controlled. Perfect. Well, congrats on Camino. It's great when one of the bets pays off, and it'll be fun keeping track of each other over the next year as things continue.
Yeah, I think the Metals Investor Forum has a really good formula for bringing in quality companies, bringing in quality audience, limiting the field so that you can actually do research and not feel that you're like inundated by random buttonholers pitching meaningless stories at you. This is a really good venue.
Absolutely. So let's get back out. I got to learn some more companies. Some of the ones that you brought that I don't know.
Yeah, these are all brand new ones. Bottom fish that I dug up out of the gutter. Some of them were even zombies not too long ago.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thanks, Gwen.